Welcome to Intuitive Defense. My name is Baker. In this video, I'll be mounting this Holosun, or as I like to call it, Holosun Optic to this Glock 17 pistol. So this particular Glock 17 is their MOS variant, the Modular Optic System variant, meaning that it comes from the factory milled and ready to mount an optic on right here at the top. So all I'm going to do is just remove this top plate cover, and then I'll be able to attach this Holosun optic on there. Now this particular Holosun optic, the SCS, the solar charging sight, is designed to be a direct mount to the Glock, no plates needed. It's a low profile mounting design. It's even got the grooves on there to go with the grooves on the rear of the slide. So it should be a very simple mount. The only thing I'll have to do afterwards is zero the optic. So this shouldn't take that long. It's my first time mounting this particular optic to a Glock. I've mounted RMRs and other optics to other pistols, but my first time using one of these. So I'm excited to see how well this one works with the Glock, and then also be able to compare this optic with the RMR, a Vortex optic, and some other ones. First thing we'll do, go ahead and just verify, yep, it is clear. That's good to go. We'll go ahead and open up this optic. Again, here's the box for that. I have several Holosun optics, and I've been very pleased with all of them. I have them mounted on PCCs, rifles. This is my first one that'll be mounted on a pistol. So here is the optic right here. You can see that it's a very slim profile optic, not much to it. These are the little cocking serrations that have been put on this that match the cocking serrations here on the rear of the Glock. Inside the box, we have some extra screws. We have a adjustment tool, mounting tool, and then a delicious little pack of gel tabs. They taste like peppermint sometimes, and I like to eat those when I'm done because those are delicious and they're good for my little tummy. They help me digest food. We also have a little instruction manual book, which won't be needing that because I'm a dude. Why would I ever read that stuff? Nah, I'll figure it out. Anyways, so what makes this optic somewhat unique is it has a built-in battery, which I believe is located right here. And the battery is not removable. You can't change it out, but it is rechargeable using the solar panel right here. According to Holosun, any type of ambient light is enough to start the charging of that battery. So if it sits in your safe for a while, or whatever the case may be, anytime you bring it out into some type of light source, it should automatically start recharging that battery. Of course, the downside is if there's a problem with the battery or the battery just stops taking a charge, you can't change it out. You have to get an all new optic. The plus side is, theoretically, the battery shouldn't die on you because it is rechargeable using the solar panel. Pros and cons to everything in life. Right here we have the adjustment dials. We have up and down, and then right and left right there. The two mounting screw holes right there, and that's it. There's not much to it. There's a small little button right here. That is the function button. So once it's mounted, then I'll go ahead and turn it on. Actually, I'll go ahead and hit it now just to make sure that the optic itself is on before I mount it, because work smarter, not harder. And you might have to hold it down for a few seconds. That's a few seconds in my mind. Yes, all right, there it is. This optic has a multi-reticle system built into it. It has three different options. One is your EOTech style sight that has a large round circle and then a smaller dot circle in the center of that. Then it has just the round circle, no small dot, and then it has just the dot. And you would just use this function button here to cycle through the different options. Chances are for this, I'll use just the smaller dot, but I'll mess around with the other sighting options and see which one I prefer, but typically it's the small dot one that I like. Most of Holosun optics have the shake wag technology in it, so if the weapon system has been idle for a while, hasn't been moved, as soon as you grab it, then the optic automatically turns on. This particular optic does not have that, so you turn it on with a long press on the function button, and then you turn it off with a long press on the function button. If you leave it on, I don't think it's that big of a deal because it should be recharging that battery. If it sits in the safe and it's on, then when you bring that weapon out, then it should immediately start recharging that battery once ambient light hits that solar cell. Enough of the optic. Let's go ahead and pull this mounting plate off of the slide of the Glock, and then we'll get to the actual mounting part. Hi, yeah, so tight. Uh-oh, did it. I'm gonna put those right there. I'll put the plate off to the side. Go ahead and use these screws that came with it. I'm pretty sure I could use the plate ones as well, but I'll just use the ones that Holosun provided, because why not? Uh-oh, fat fingers get in the way. Oh. Come on. Clearly I haven't had enough coffee today. Which, before this job gets any more complicated, I'll go ahead and have a sip of my coffee. Might as well have some cigar too. All right. And there we are. So it fits nicely between the rear sights and then the front groove portion of the cutout. I'm not going to over tighten these. I'll just make them snug. The last thing I want to do is break one of these screws by over tightening it. So I'm just, when I feel a little bit of resistance, and I'll go ahead and stop. There's that. Good to go. There it is. That seems to be on there nice and tight. As mentioned before, you can see these caulking serration grooves that have been milled into the top of the, I should say the side of the Glock slide. And then this Optic has matching ones for aesthetic purposes, but also a little bit of functionality. If you grab it here or here, you still have a little bit of grip to it. You can see just how flush this sits. These are the plastic sights that came with the Glock, which I'm going to change out to the metal night sights at some point. I just haven't done it yet. As you can see, since this does not use a mounting plate and it sits lower, I will be able to still use these factory sights. In the event the optic stops working, I still have a way to sight this pistol while firing. The next thing, as mentioned before, will be to go out there, zero the pistol, and then good to go. Maybe difficult to tell here on camera, but just to give you an idea of what that view looks like through the glass. I don't think it's necessarily as large as an RMR view. Yeah, looking at it here, I definitely wouldn't think it is, but still good view of what's going on in front of the muzzle. There's not too much of a color change. It's a slight tint between looking through the glass and then non-glass of the view. I think all in all, without having to shoot it, just based on what I see here, I think it'll be a really good optic, but only time will tell once I get on the range and start running it through its paces. Although I haven't zeroed this optic yet, I'm curious to see how it is out of the box. So I'm gonna go ahead, jam up a mag, take it out to the range, probably from the 15-20 yard line on a 12-inch silhouette steel plate, see if I can get some dings without it being zeroed directly to me. I would expect it to hit, but there's only one way to find out. I'm at about the 18 yard line. I have a 12-inch silhouette plate to my front, and then I have two 8-inch plates and then two 10-inch plates. I'm gonna start with the 12-inch steel plate. If I get dings on that, then I'll transition to the 10-inch plate and then the 8-inch plate and see how it hits right out of the box. Here we go. Hang on to your britches. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 10-inch. Other 10-inch. 8-inch. Hit. Hit. Huh. Interesting. Well, I gotta say, I was pleased with the performance of that optic right out of the box. Again, from the 18-yard line, I shot and hit 12-inch steel plate, 2 10-inch steel plates, and then 2 8-inch steel plates, all with no problem, no misses. I have other optics that I've mounted onto pistols that I took right out of the box onto the pistol, onto the range without zeroing them, and attempted to do the same thing and wasn't as successful. So it was nice to see that this from the factory allowed me to be accurate without having to zero. That being said, I'm still going to zero it. That way it's dialed in to me, but I won't have to adjust that much since it's almost already there. I have been running Holosun for probably, well, since 2019, I think 2019 was the first time that I purchased a Holosun optic, and that was an optic that I mounted on one of my PCCs. Since then, I've purchased many more Holosuns. All of my PCCs, if I remember correctly, all of them have Holosun optics on it. I have a lot of rifles that have Holosun optics on it, including this one here, which has a Holosun optic on it. No issues. I've been very pleased with it. That particular rifle and optic gets used the most out of my rifles. I've taken down a coyote and some other stuff with it without any issues. So I've been very pleased with their performance. I think for the price point, you get a lot out of it, especially since the majority of their optics come with shake wake technology and things like that. This one again doesn't, but it's got the on-off long press button, so that's easy to deal with the rechargeable battery. I also have the Holosun IR aiming device, IR laser, that I run with my night vision setup. I've been very pleased with that. I think right around $1,000 is what I picked it up for, and the performance has been very good. So this video is not sponsored by Holosun. They have no idea who I am. I'm just a fan of the products they put out. And so I'm excited to get to use this one, see how this performs, the life of it. Just like the majority of my pistols, I run them hard. I don't clean them that well. I'm very brutal with them, caveman style. And so I think this would be a good optic, and most likely I'll purchase a few more of these particular optics and mount them on some of the other Glock MOSs that I have and some other ones that I plan on picking up for training purposes. But yeah, that's that. Appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Please like, share, subscribe. If you found this video at all informative, share it. If you didn't find it informative, share it. That way your friends have to suffer through this video as you did. Be sure to check out our Noob series. Noob, if you're not familiar with it, it's a mimic style shooting game similar to the basketball game Horse, but played on the range and with guns. We have season 2, which focuses all on pistols. Those pistols, we don't have any iron sights, are not modified. We just use, there's no red dot sights. They're not modified. We just use iron sights, just stock pistols. And then season 3, we're running PCCs. And so it's a fun game, mildly entertaining videos to watch. So be sure to check those out along with the other videos that we have on this channel. Have a great day, and we'll see you out on the range.